We have a great meeting here. Actually, it's not bad. Officer Kimmery gives a report and the fire gives a report, so not bad.
I
Okay,
want to make home before any of the weather gets here.
I know, right?
Yeah, see, it's.
Yeah,
Not like
11.
Not 7 like what they said last.
11 o'clock. Yeah.
It's supposed to be raining by now, and I'm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Stacy, you ready?
No,
It'd be easy. Can you ride a bike?
not well.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't done it in a long time. I probably can.
Recent, I also called.
Oh.
That was him right there.
We can't say no when someone, and we already people recruit us. Like a guy at the bar thing, who that was 3 years to help with Riverfest. No, now we do rent. So, we're just a sucker. I think it's just, they see it across the top of our head.
About 50 hours.
Oh, gee, that's more than a full-time job.
Well, we like doing it, so. Okay.
Just enough time. I get so nervous before these things.
No, I bet you do.
How are you?
If you have a second.
Nice to see you. I haven't, probably a long time ago.
Okay.
He and Dr. Bo used to go to a
Academy.
Okay.
every month, and I was there.
And that's at City Hall.
And I think I might
The black building.
Sparsky seating in here.
probably.
I don't know what it is. I just think mine.
Lewis can.
Oh, okay, so.
Good looking ones, he says.
Okay, well, good, okay.
Yeah, good.
So-
for you.
Well, I.
When you come in, they'll meet you there
Oh, okay.
in the lobby.
So she'd be the one.
Again, got conference room.
Okay, that's right.
But they,
I sit down in the peanut gallery there.
they show you everything. It's pretty cool.
It should be
Yeah.
for Johnston's report.
Blind meeting.
You
Guys,
do
I
it.
don't know.
I'm
So it's really good.
I haven't been an item since high school.
Good.
I guess we're in.
All right, so thank you very much.
He can't watch Monday Night Football, but that's okay.
You can record it or something.
That's right, if the Chiefs are on, I'll have to tape it.
I know. Some of the Chiefs games I can't get because they don't have the right Chiefs channel.
Well, yeah, that's true, yeah.
You gotta get it on YouTube.
I have YouTube.
Or you
I do have YouTube, but I don't have Prime or.
Well, yeah, this is
Those I don't have
primarily,
those.
I refuse.
the appointed board
I just have
members.
YouTube.
Oh, well,
Doc,
Anyway.
Jason,
Anyway, we'll see how this goes.
You'll love it.
We won't.
Yeah, thanks for signing up.
I believe so.
That's good.
General public.
I mean, no, the general public should be, is here.
Oh, yeah.
your take, Steve?
Mine, I'm Jason Albertson. I'm with the Wichita Animal Services Advisory.
Is that the same as the Humane Society or different?
Well, the Humane Society is a different entity, since
But
it's a private, but
Side by side.
they are side by side, and they do work somewhat together, but they're really not under the same auspices.
Really?
Yeah,
So what is the difference?
well.
One
the-
murders dogs and the other one doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know about murder. I don't think that's the point of that. I think that's what some folks out there would want you to believe that.
No.
That's can be a bit of a contentious thing. I'm new to that board, so I guess I'm finding out now.
It's sad that people don't take care of their animals.
Well, it really boils down to that. That's really.
I mean, I know a lady that feeds about 15 feral cats.
Mhm.
And my sister-in-law, I think she feeds. I know she feeds 4.
It's not recommended, but you know, what's a person with a heart to do?
Yeah.
It can be it's a difficult thing.
Yeah.
That's just so quiet. Fall asleep after this.
Better you. Speech.
What's that?
They're giving a talk, right?
Oh, I'm a little
Talking
bit
point.
talking.
But you're a
point.
veterinary by trade.
Right.
Are you a hay tater?
Yeah.
Good, how are
You
you?
hold that against me? Hopefully not.
No, I've got, my son played. On the, he was there for 3 years.
Oh, good.
And,
At K-State?
uh-huh.
Which team?
It would have been,
I mean, like, which sport, I should say.
he was out there, it must have been from 2000 to 2003. I know 2 of those years they played in the Tuskegee Bowl.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
bus station.
I think I got one of those t-shirts.
Yes,
Bus station.
well, you know, he gave me this Tuskegee Bowl watch.
Tuesday night to go to the game and I.
One of these nights out get-togethers that they have.
Oh, yeah, K-State.
Yeah, I had it. Anyway, somebody stole the watch.
That's not even, oh, that's not the Wildcat way.
But this wasn't a K-State deal. This was what is it, Wichita night out there.
Oh, you
Neighborhood.
know, the neighborhood.
Close to that.
I know, it's only cold.
I know.
Well, I'm certainly waiting for K-State.
No, no, I had my school opening. And some kids, you know, some teenagers, you know, if they could use.
Yeah, it's not very fun. How come?
Somebody.
Oh, boy.
School.
I'm assuming.
Did you have the-
Proof of that.
Did you enjoy the back to school
I
dance?
didn't think about that until after the fact.
He got some very nice bowling.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah. Well, you never know about that state football.
You can play football.
You're gonna kill it out at the end.
Watch it.
So,
You guys are North Wales, but
Try to be funny, yeah.
We are too,
So.
That's going to be the crowd. And she's over.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, they would have missed the finale. So far, they have played very.
Restaurant there.
Well, it's, they always say, well, next week we'll play best.
Yeah.
The coaches will hopefully jump down their throat a little bit.
You know, no doubt about that. I did get really, I was in school there. There was ever a nicer person.
Cigar.
He wrote me letters. Coach wrote me letters and said, "Imagine what you did. I just want to say you did a fine job. You know, how many people's gonna do that?"
Jason Alberts, pleased to meet you.
too.
I might have met you at,
I didn't know.
extreme, we did attend breakfast meal. You know Greg Poe.
Yeah, he was in it.
Yeah, and I attended a couple of those.
Where'd you go to high school?
Maybe so. Maybe so. Just my wife Heather.
Heather, Davey.
Yeah.
Strong.
She's my business partner.
Year and a half.
She came to. It's like they start. This meeting will probably people.
Oh, well, yeah.
Playing.
We did. Kansas City. I know.
And have said, they're still the best dressed guy in.
Except I spilled my dinner.
But you bring yourself down to the normal level.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Davey, what's going on with the police station?
That's the next. I'll cover that.
Okay.
What it is, I think.
You gotta have a lot of teams.
Oh.
Coach Doc was there.
It seems like it's been 2 years ago. They came knocked on my door.
It's great to have him back.
That was really.
But you know.
We were voting.
I think
Couple places.
Okay. Thank you all for attending. You have a guarantee from Alan, the storm's not coming in until 11.
Right.
So we're gonna take you up on that guarantee.
I rode my bike, so.
You I see it. Your light's still flashing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but thank you for being here. We take turns, let our district advisory board members take turns run the meeting. And tonight Stacy's gonna run the meeting, so I'll turn it over to Stacy.
Yay, Stacy.
All right. So,
All order,
I'm gonna call the order.
approval.
We're gonna approve the agenda from our last meeting.
For this.
Oh, yeah, this meeting. Their motion to.
Motion to approve the minute from the previous meeting.
Second.
Second. Right, all in favor?
Aye.
Moved. All right. Vote same time.
It'll be hard.
All right,
Yep, you're good.
we're good. Are we approving a minute from last meeting?
Uh-huh.
Right. Motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign? All right, that's approved. All right, public agenda. Doesn't look like we have anything. in the public agenda.
Anybody like to speak?
Oh, if anybody would like to speak, we did request to speak on the public agenda prior to the meeting, may speak at this time. Is anybody? Okay, we'll move on to the board agenda. Updates and reports. We're gonna start with Vice Mayor Johnson.
Okay. Thank you, Stacy. Just a couple updates. The city manager search is moving along quickly. So some of us may be questioning whether we could get it done in time, but the search firm they got is really good. Engage the public a lot. So I encourage you, any chance you get, you'll get some. We'll let you know in our newsletter too. Go ahead and get engaged and tell them what you'd like from the city manager. District advisory board members, the same thing, so. But the timetable, hopefully, we should get somebody on board by December. So it's pretty aggressive. I have a lot of faith in the committee that we put together. My appointee is Andrea Scarpelli. Andrea was a regional president of Simmons Bank. I think she had 4 or 5 states that she was over. Huge job for $1 billion bank. Then she got tired of traveling and she ended her career with Emprise Bank as senior executive vice president of Emprise Bank, in charge of all lending. So she's very knowledgeable. She's been a friend of mine for a long time. Actually, she's been a mentor of mine for a long time. I run things by her. Including closing the store, ran that by her, and she gave me the honest truth. So I appreciate that. So I need to close it. So she'll do a good job. There's lots of good people on that committee, so I'm very encouraged. Second thing is, Gary asked about the police station. It's way behind schedule, but it should go out to bid within the next few weeks. So should go out to bid and let's go out to get the bids back, contracts approved. Hopefully we'll be starting early spring, I'm thinking, probably when it gets started. So looking forward to that. The reason for the delay is, come on in a lot. The reason for the delay is the architect designed the plans per the old guidelines, MAPC guidelines. Honestly, all the architect had to do is get the plans in before December 1st. Or ask for an extension for a little while. They did not do that. That caused them to have the new rules for the building. So it's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars more because of those rules, which upsets me because the East Station was built by the old rules. But it's just the way it is. So it will be built with a lot more concrete and steel and stuff like that. So if there's a tornado hit, Northwest High will probably go, but the police station will still be there. So, any other questions on anything? We opened the dog park. Has anybody been to the dog park? Besides Reggie? Gary has? You like it?
Beautiful.
Do you have a dog?
No, that's right part of it. I watched him set the two dogs.
Oh, did you?
Mhm.
1,600 pounds a piece.
Yeah.
Heavy. It's really cool though.
What are they actually made of?
It's a, you remember Teresa? It's like some,
Oh, I'm sorry, what's,
it's a hardened ceramic.
yes, what the sculptures are made of.
Yeah. They put in that oven, so I can't, a couple thousand degrees or something. It just makes it really hard.
Huh.
So it'll last a long time. He was showing me even the tongue of the dog, he put that in stainless steel, so somebody can just break it off. Which I thought was,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I hope it's not wood because the goofy vandals.
yeah. I hope not. So I've had really good reaction to it though. Reggie, and thank you for your leadership of doing that, getting her done. So appreciate that very much. Any other questions? Mary?
I just wanted to thank you for your motion on the water restrictions and to actually put a date as September the 15th. So thank you for that.
Yep.
A lot of you appreciate it.
Good.
They actually have wells also, but they don't hand water except one day a week, and they don't use their hoses because they're attached to their houses. And so
Yeah.
I just appreciate the fact that you were talking to the nurseries to see what their needs were and then actually putting a date to it.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. If you don't know what the water restrictions are, starting September 15th, and right now we're almost a foot over normal levels at Cheney. But starting September 15th, if your address is an odd number, you'll be able to water Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. If it's an even number, it's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. So 3 times a week, you can water. You can hand water any day. You can actually hand water. If you reseed a lawn, you can water consecutively for 30 days. You get the seeds to germinate and come up. If you're resodding the lawn, you have up to 21 days to water. So sod takes. So reasonable, I think. And
It's
thank
very-
you.
Very much appreciated.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting for the 12-month average to be, I think it's 70%.
Yeah.
Since we had such great rains through the springtime and the summer.
Lot of
Appreciate you're putting the motion on the floor.
Oh, you're welcome. Kind of behind the scenes kind of thought for that too. So a lot of West Siders had army worms. We had them in the backyard. Well, if anybody else had army worms or not, but killed gas pretty quickly. Anyway, that's the rules.
Thank you.
Do we have any local applicants for the city manager position, or are they all outside?
Don't know yet.
You haven't interviewed yet?
Have not interviewed yet. They haven't even got posted on the job yet. They'll post it pretty quickly here. But the search firm has a pool of people they've already got. They know of. So. Looks promising anyway. I know Reggie wants somebody good, so. Okay, so do I. Anything else? No. Thank you. Okay.
All right, we have Dr. Jason Albertson to report on the Wichita Animal Services Advisory Board.
Thank you.
This is one of the hot topics at city council. So I really appreciate Dr. Albertson's willing to serve on the board. You're the only veterinarian on the board
Yes, currently.
currently.
And we would be, so if you want to encourage some of your other city council members to nominate veterinarians from their district. Teresa said that Mayor Wu's district needs a veterinarian. So anybody that, I guess it's open to anybody, but veterinarians, I guess, primarily for their perspective. So that would be good.
Appreciate you serving.
Sure. Well, I just a recent member, a recent appointee to the advisory board, as the Wichita Animal Services Advisory Board. So we meet every other month. And it's an open meeting, of course, as all meetings are with the city. And we get reports from the director of the animal shelter, primarily animal control. And then we open, and I can't hardly, I wasn't blessed with JV's height, so. Yeah, there you go. No, this is being recorded, so. This is, I've attended 2 meetings so far, and JV said, well, look, this can be a temporary thing. You can see how you like it. If you want to run away from it after the 3rd or 4th meeting, you can. So far, I have not felt compelled to run away from any of the meetings, although I could see how someone might want to, because there's so many emotionally charged issues when it comes to people's pets and animals and just in general. But just briefly, from the May and August meetings, the animal shelter operates under the authority of the Kansas Department of Agriculture and the Animal Facilities Inspection System. So it's a state run, then they're under the USDA also. So there's a pretty good layers of bureaucracy and leadership up to the national level. But some of the topics we've talked about was how the Wichita Animal Shelter is able to care for the many animals that they have in the facility. And it's well over 200 animals there on any given day, which presents a lot of challenges when it comes to caring for them, caring for their physical needs. And it's very difficult to find qualified folks that will really want to work at the Wichita Animal Shelter. So they're understaffed. If there are monies that are available to help hire folks that would want to stay and actually care for the animals that are being housed there, that we really, really would love to have more folks on the payroll. But the Kansas Department of Agriculture and the facilities inspection regulations have changed so that animals prior to some of the recent enforcing of regulations, were able to move animals out of the shelter if they had communicable diseases such as parvovirus, upper respiratory diseases, heartworm disease, feline upper respiratory diseases, into foster facilities and individuals who would be able to care for their needs until they had recovered. But the enforceable regulations now require euthanasia at a higher rate than what some of the community members and what we really see as acceptable. So it's a very contentious thing. We get the public that comes to the meetings and voices concerns. There's a couple of individuals that show up at these meetings that really keep the pot stirred. But I mean, there are legitimate concerns. Let's see. The Department of Agriculture came into the animal shelter and required some of the kennels be closed for maintenance, which has decreased the available space for animals to be housed, which has temporarily caused an increase in the number of euthanasias that have to happen. So hopefully, once those repairs are done, then there won't be as many euthanasias that have to occur. Evidently, we had a discussion that there have been 2 individuals in Wichita that have been killed by dogs over the past few months, and there was some discussion about what could be done to help decrease the danger of animals running at large. We're working on an informational flyer about the city animal regulations and locations where folks can get low-cost spay and neuter. Also, we're helping to develop some policies with respect to improving how the license ordinances are enforced and how to make it easier for folks to get their dogs licensed and microchipped. And we appreciate the new ordinance that requires microchipping. That has helped a number of dogs find their owners. But and again, this is a very much an emotionally charged meetings. So they're not boring by any stretch of the imagination. So. And that's about all I have, and I apologize for not having PowerPoints, but work long hours, and so I don't have a college kid at home who's able to help me put a PowerPoint together. So, does anybody have any questions?
Questions?
We meet every other month. So we welcome, folks' input. Of course, all of our contact information is a matter of public record.
Questions?
I actually have one. Do you know off the top of your head what the euthanasia rate is?
The animal shelter director, Emily Hurst, puts together a report for each of those meetings. And I think I would recommend that you get in touch with the animal shelter and probably someone from her office that has all of those statistics.
Thank you.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
I guess there was some strain between some groups that would adopt dogs and things like that. Have those relationships mended or gotten any better?
No, there are several animal rescue organizations that are private in this area. Some that work well with the animal shelter, animal control, and the Humane Society, and some that do not work so well. There recently, one of those organizations has purchased a facility to create their own animal shelter. So many of their concerns will likely be addressed because they will be housing their own population of pets needing homes. So the biggest thing is that because of the regulations from the state that we prohibit moving animals that have easily treatable diseases out to somewhere where they could be treated, and made well and made acceptable for adoption. It's required more euthanasias, and of course, no one likes to see that, no one wants that, but it really boils down to responsible pet ownership, which is less that I think in my career, I don't see the responsible pet ownership issue has really become more problematic.
And there was some talk about maybe the state rescinding those rules, the legislature. Is that?
The
animal shelter can get them treated.
Yes, well, they're trying to kind of loosen those restrictions up a bit to allow many of those animals to leave. They actually can come to a veterinary facility like mine.
Mhm.
If I take responsibility for that, and if they come right to our clinic, if we pull them from the shelter, and we can do that with some of the approved rescue organizations. There are some that could be approved, but they don't want to sign the documents and abide by some of the stipulations to be able to pull those. So that there is the contention.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't necessarily want to say that, they do a good work, but their mission is different than, let's say, an animal, like Wichita Animal Action League. You know, so.
Thank you very much for your service. I know your voice. Still get a question, okay?
When somebody comes to adopt a dog, do they do a background check to see if these people have dogs before?
Well, I don't believe so. That would be more layers of regulation and. I think that you have to meet some sort of criteria, but I don't know what those are, to be honest with you, and. There are probably those that are adopting that. In my opinion, probably
Shouldn't have dogs.
couldn't, but that's a value judgment that. I'm not here to make,
What about the chip mandate? I hadn't heard that.
well, as of the 1st of January, it's a city ordinance that requires microchipping. Along with the annual registration. And it's dogs and cats, not just dogs. It's been a dog only thing for a long time. The goal being that there would be, bringing those owners back together with their lost pets at a higher rate, which would then decrease the euthanasia rate.
What kind of enforcement is there?
I'm the wrong person to ask about that. That would be probably under the animal control, Captain Purcell, who runs that. But I've told folks I don't think that they're gonna have, animal control or other police officers knocking on their doors asking to scan their pets for microchips. They got many more important things to be doing than that. If the pet is picked up and it's not microchipped, they can be fined for that. I think that's where some of the enforcement comes.
Any other questions? All right,
Thank
thank
you
you,
very
Dr.
much.
Thanks for
I
letting
heard
me.
your perspective on animal care really brings a lot to that. So you're welcome. Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to staff reports. First one's police report, Officer Kim.
Hello, I am Officer Kimry. I am the community policing officer for the beats of 19 and 199, which basically covers all of District 5. So I brought some stats with me today. I just printed them off today. Everything looks pretty low. We had a couple more robberies than usual, but they were domestic violence related. So that means like the boyfriend pushed the girlfriend to take her phone. That would be considered a robbery. Nothing where like stick them up kind of things going on. So, but everything else is like either the same or down. So that's good news. We did have an increase of larceny from autos on 19 beat. We had 22 in the last 28 days, but 15 of those were unlocked vehicles where people left their purses in there overnight. So they're just randomly checking neighborhoods and checking if door handles are unlocked. They go in, take whatever's they can pawn or use. So keep that in mind. Please lock your cars. Please take in valuables overnight because they will break a window to take it. And the ones that did have a broken window, they had either a laptop or a purse visible in the front seat. So it just made it easy for them to take it. Now, we do have larcenies all over the city. It's not just specific to this area, but we just saw an uptick. They probably just dropped people off in the neighborhoods and they just checked handles and crime of opportunity. So keep that in mind. We have a couple of events coming up. ICT Open Streets is coming up at the end of the month on the 28th. We'll be out there hanging out with everybody. And then our next Second Chance Thursday looks like it's going to be October 23rd, but we're still looking for a location. So we'll keep you updated when we finally have somewhere to have it. So that's about all that's going on is the larcenies from autos. So make sure you tell your neighbors and neighborhoods to lock their cars and take that good stuff in. So that's all I got. Is there any questions for me? Wow, okay, great. I'm doing my great job then. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Five has the least amount of crime in the new district.
Yeah,
By
we're
far.
low. It's mostly property crime, so. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, guys.
Good.
Fire department report, see that?
My name is John Eck. I'm the battalion chief in West Wichita, basically from the Big Ditch West, which includes DAB 4 and DAB 5. Just follow up on what she said. We also have the lowest amount of fires in District 5, easily in the city. We did have one. Usually I don't have a fire in District 5 to tell you about, but we did have one close to 21st and Mays. Somebody had a light on their back porch and some kind of electrical malfunction and got on fire and it went right up in the attic. But we were able to get everybody out and keep most of the damage to the attic. So other fires we have right now, a lot of them this time of year on your deck from being outside, smoking a cigar or having a little chimney this time of year, or the other ones would be the garage fires, people out working in the garage. So those are two common areas. So if you're working in your garage, watch your electrical stuff, watch your flammables, stuff you've all heard before, but it still happens. Right now, what we're working on is, as far as our recruitment, we have started a class. We teach our own EMT now, emergency medical training. So we're teaching I think it's 8 or 9 people right now, and then some people get their own EMT, and they're going to start up in October. So we'll have 17 new members starting in January, and that's just a constant with retirements and some turnovers. That's how we keep our numbers up. We are doing something a little bit different right now as far as our training. If you guys are in the area of anywhere around 31st and Oliver, on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, we're doing live fire training. This is related to some of the more high profile fires we had at the end of last year where some people got hurt. And we're doing live fire training, and we're dialing in our tactics, and we're dialing in our policies to make sure we got all our bases covered, and just fine tuning some of that stuff. Or if we're someone inside, how we get them out. If a firefighter goes down while he's inside, how we get them out. And so we're trying to get really efficient on that. So if you're in that area, you will see some smoke throughout the day, but that's our Connex boxes, and it's a controlled fire. The only other thing that I would mention is that we have a new brush truck that we got in. It's going to be staffed out east. So we have those scattered around the outside of the city now. We'll use them out here in the spring if things get dry. We have a new urban search and rescue truck. It's a semi, like an 18-wheeler. And that's for like collapses, entrapments, more industrial type accidents, trench stuff. And then we do have 10 fire engines on order, and one of the big ladder trucks that'll be phased in. It'll take probably 3-4 years for those all to come in. So that's another constant thing we do. That's where I'll run around. So any questions for me? All right, thank you.
Public library report, Tracy first.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here as always. The first thing that I want to mention is we are finally on the end of our remodeling journey that we have been going on for the last 2 years at the Wichita Public Library. During that time, we have actually remodeled our Westlake branch, our Alfred Library, our Angelou Library, and our Rockwell Library. And our Rockwell Library is actually set to reopen on September 8th, which is incredibly exciting. Just like at Westlake, where we added a lot of extra square footage, we added 7,000 extra square footage here. They added 4,000 extra square footage there. They are going to have an updated children's space, an updated teen space, a drive-through. They they are going to have a larger meeting space, and they're going to have also the study rooms and collaboration rooms that you see here. So we are incredibly excited to come to the end of this journey and to get to actually be utilizing these spaces. It's very, very wonderful. So then we will be turning our attention towards other matters because we really want to make an impact on our community with the spaces that we have and the resources that we have. So if you actually have young children or grandchildren, one of the things we want to let you know is story times are about ready to start. And there is nothing more phenomenal than story time because kids love it. So if you have children or grandchildren, it is time to bring them. Next week, we'll be starting at Westlink. We will have story times for our littlest one. That's baby story time. That's for actually birth through 18 months. We have one called nursery rhyme time, which is for birth through age 2. And we also have preschool story time, which is for 3 to 6. And we have a fabulous youth services librarian and a great assistant who do really fun programs. So we hope that you will bring them. They're on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. You can see them on our events calendar, and you can also get an Evolve guide out front, which actually lists what the library does, but also what other organizations do within the city. Another thing that I want to mention, we have a Library of Things collection, and I have talked about many of the fabulous things we have added to that collection. We have radon detectors, telescopes, microscopes, blood pressure monitors, Chromebooks, robots, Tonys, all sorts of awesome stuff. But we're getting something new, and it's really good. We're actually getting memory kits, and they're to help individuals with dementia. And they have actually 3 different ones to help individuals with early, middle, and late dementia. And they include books and activities that you can use with individuals with dementia to spark conversations and to help them. And we are very lucky in that actually Comfort Care Homes is providing us with those kits. They will be able to be checked out with your library card. And I believe that we have a few of each one of each of those different stages. And those are supposed to come out mid-September is when they're supposed to come out. We are having some programs for adults that I want to mention here at Westlink. Jana Irwin, who's actually the city's public art manager, she is actually going to be here next Thursday, so September 11th at 2:30, and she's going to talk about all of the city art that there is, some of her favorite pieces. One of the things that she is going to mention too is what it takes to be a city artist. So if you know anyone who is an artist and really wants an opportunity to get their art out there, I would encourage them to actually come. It is on September 11th at 2:30. And then we also have Ethan Kershaw. He is actually the city's sustainability and resiliency coordinator. He's going to be doing 3 programs for the Westlink branch: water conservation 365 days a year, household waste disposal 101, and energy savings. And 2 of those programs, the water conservation and the energy savings, those are rebate opportunities that are out there in the community that you can get, that you can save money to do things that also help the environment. And then also, obviously, household waste disposal, it's about helping the environment. So you can visit our events calendar, get date and time information. If you have any questions, you can ask our staff. Does anybody have any questions to ask me? I will not even make you do it, Stacy. Ask them if they have questions for me. Any questions? I'm a librarian. We love questions. Okay.
You did such a great job in that place.
Thank you very much. We are thrilled that you are here as always.
Right, Parks and Recreation Department, Becky Davis.
So good evening, everyone. Reggie Davidson with Parks and Rec. I want to give an update on, first of all, some upcoming events that we have that's taking place in September. On the 20th of this month, we have the Ladies Appreciation Day that's going to be taking place at McDonald's Golf Course, which is a 9-hole tournament to kind of celebrate some of the ladies that are participating in our golf league and have an opportunity to showcase some of the improvements that are coming up there at the golf course itself. On September the 27th, we have another event that's going to be taking place at Tex Conservator, which is our City Crew event golf party. And City Crew is a free kids club that we have for young people from the age of 2 to 12 years of age, that we showcase different facilities throughout the city and to give them an opportunity to experience some of the programs that we offer there at no cost to those family members. So anyone that's interested can sign up online and get emails and updates on those programs that we have coming up during that time frame. Another big thing that we have coming up is starting on September the 27th. We'll be kicking off Wicked Island out at O.J. Watson Park, and it will go through from the 27th to the end of October on every Friday and Saturday night. So that's a big event that we get a lot of participation from the community on. And we're also doing open streets that everyone mentioned earlier. That's on the 28th. This year we have a slightly condensed version going from 3 miles to 2.5 miles. So it will be from Grove on the east side down to Seneca on the west side. So we condensed it a half mile, activating the space even more to drive people in to be able to enjoy those different stations that we have set up throughout that route to get people even a better experience from what they've had in the past. So it's kind of leads into golf. I mentioned earlier some of the events that we have coming up there. Golf is doing really well. So we're getting a lot of participation at our courses and people coming out. And we're generating enough funding now that we can start making some additional improvements to some of those sites. So we're in the process right now of getting ready to do a new irrigation system at Mac Golf Course that closes on the 26th. And then we're going to be releasing a RFP to start making some improvements to the bunkers there at that site as well. So trying to reinvest some of those dollars that we have to make sure that the customers continue to have a good experience. So Auburn Hills is in the process now of getting some improvements made there to some of the siding and the doors and replacing the carpet in the areas there as well. And once we transition to our somewhat slower season, once the weather gets colder, we're going to be looking at putting out a point of sale system and a booking and operating system to try to make it more efficient for our customers to be able to have a good experience when they're registering for our programs that we participate in. And again, this is because we're continuing to see a lot of uses of our courses, and we want to make sure that we invest in those to make sure that they are still in good condition. So kind of transition next into our forestry division. I'm sure you guys know that we have been really busy over the last few months with dealing with some of the storm that we had back in June. So we're starting to get to the point where we're catching up on a lot of those things that we had. Just as a point of reference from that time frame, we got over 500 requests that came in on top of the existing work that we had during that time frame. So we're managing getting through that, and with the partnership with Public Works and the contractors that we had working on some of those projects, we're able to get a lot of those things to the point now where it's manageable today to move forward, start looking at what we'll do with some of our regular maintenance work. City Council also approved this week for us to make some improvements to several of our playgrounds that were impacted by the weather as well. And one of them is here in District 5, West Meadows Park. So we were able to use some of the cost saving that we had with the reduced watering that we've done with the water restrictions to invest in making those improvements to those parks that have been down since the storm damage is there. So we're going to be replacing some of the engineered wood fiber that's there and the surface on it so that when the kids come in and use the space, it's safe and adheres to our safety guidelines as we move forward. In our rec division, we're transitioning into our fall classes that'll start on next week. And we're doing all of our adult programs that we have coming up, as well as our athletic league with youth football is starting this coming weekend. So I know I mentioned before in the past that we're transitioning, we're working with USD 259 with trying to get a good pathway that young people would transition from youth football into the high school and putting emphasis on not only just the sport, but making sure the kids had a good experience and they're prepared when they get to high school academically as well. So we are proud to announce that this year we went from 400 participants in the program to over 800. So we've doubled the numbers that we had from the previous season and continue to work with the school district to make sure that there's a good transition for those kids to have a good experience on the field and off the field as well. And we are also closing up the Splash Pads officially on the 28th of this month. And it may be continuing, the weather gets a little colder, never know here, it may close sooner, but that's our plan for those to close up on that date. And we're going to be moving forward with hosting interviews on next Friday, the 12th, for the recreation superintendent position that I held previously before transitioning the role. Our center director there was transitioned over to the rec superintendent position, and then her rec supervisor position is currently open, and that's what we'll be interviewing for. So we have some really good candidates that are from several different states. We got people from as far as Atlanta, Georgia area to from North Carolina, from Texas, and we've narrowed it down, and several people here locally, and we have 9 candidates that we're going to be interviewing to see how we move forward with selecting someone. And lastly, I know that Councilman Johnson and I have been talking about as well, as we're going to be moving forward with our park master plan. I mentioned that that was a process that we started back in March of this year, went to the RFP process, had 10 companies that submitted for it. We narrowed it down and interviewed 3, and we're going to be moving forward with council to move forward with the company here locally. You guys may have heard of RDG Planning and Design. They were the group that led the Pratt Wetlands Project. Also, were real involved in what we did with the College Hill master plan that's there. And they were selected because of their experience that they have, knowledge of the local area, and then some of the things that they've done with community engagement. And a big part of that process is that we wanted to make sure that we got out to each of the districts and got feedback on it, because some of the challenges we have is that the perception is that we don't go out to each of the 6 districts to get feedback on what we want to see with investments and how we move forward with planning for our next 10 to 15 years. So we're excited about that, and looking to get that up and going, hopefully before the end of this month if we get approval. And I did want to mention as well, we are getting support from our park foundation, who's also contributing towards that financially for us to be able to have that plan in place in conjunction with what we have budgeted in our CIP for that process. So those are the major things that's coming up here, a lot of activity. A lot of people have the perception that Parks and Rec is as busy during the summer, but we are active and busy throughout the year with a lot of different things that we have going on. So I'll stay to see if you guys have any questions about anything that's coming up.
Reggie, this really doesn't have anything to do with Wichita, but recently they said that Sedgwick County is going to potentially use some Sedgwick County Park for little types of development. Are you aware of any of the plans they have?
We are. We're actually working with them real closely. That was part of the ambach that we've been working with the county commissions and city council, looking at ways that we can activate 3 potential parks, which is Sedgwick County Park, as well as Lake Ogden, and then the Northeast Park. So we've been meeting with them on a regular basis, looking at opportunities, how we can use those spaces for some creative stream to work together. We've actually taken the first step with that. We're cross-promoting each other rental opportunities of both the city and the county website. So if someone comes in, like Captain Johnson mentioned, that we get more calls about Sedgwick County Park than we do some of our other parks, thinking that is a city-operated location. So we're combining that so customers can come to one location and get access to those services. And the next phase of that is we're going to be looking at our rec management software that we have in our website. So there'll be one single point of contact to register for programs similar to what we do with the library and cultural arts as well, and other services that we have internal. So we are making efforts to start looking at ways to do that. So we're actually going to be getting a list to council next week on some of those proposed programs that we want before we actually release it out to the community.
Good question. Did you hire a superintendent for the Auburn Hills?
We did. We're in the process now of getting ready to, we made an offer and we're waiting for them to accept it and hope to have them on board before the end of this month. So we're real confident that the person that we selected will do a good job for us.
I heard you had 3 good applicants.
We did. We had some tough decisions to make, and that was another one that we had individuals from several different states that expressed interest on it. And the individual that was selected has a really good grasp of being able to manage how you do a golf course here and some of the elements that we have to deal with here in Kansas. So that was a contributing factor how we can move forward and make sure the course is in the best shape for our users. Good.
Just want to compliment your department on the partnership with 259, the increase in the number of students that are participating in that football program from almost 400 more this year than the past. So that partnership is a great partnership and great that the city is working with the school district to bring those kids together and to provide that service. So thank you for doing.
Thank you. That's one of the things that I know that the council and the county is wanting to see us to do more and more things collaboratively. And we also work real closely with them, the using space with some amenities that we don't have. So in the off season with our pool lifeguard training, we're working to use some of the indoor natatoriums to be training, and then also because we don't have a indoor space. We're also working with them with their tennis programs during the summer. They don't have a middle school tennis program. So we started this summer a program with USD 259 middle schoolers where they can actually start learning tennis to transition into high school as well. Along with sharing space with being able to use for their baseball league with the park, McAdams, as well as what we do at the one on West Douglas as well.
Part of the city, the school district, the people, you know, it's just important to keep those collaborations together. So we have all these facilities, just like in swimming, we have these new pools that are new, but newer pools, indoor pools, but we have to use those pools to help facilitate the training that we need. So I think that's great. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reggie.
All right. Well, staff reports, we have a motion to receive and file staff reports.
So move.
Second.
Or all approved?
Aye.
Anytime.
Good.
Have any business?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fast.
Wait, have you do it again, Jerry?
Got my turn out of the way.
Good job.
It's not too bad.
No,
Brainer. Football.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would remember that.
So Mary.
Yes.
Rosa.
Oh.
We're gonna have to hire.
We're just.
I know, I don't like doing it myself either.
Your hands are.
Spanish,
So,
maybe, I forgot.
do not.
It's like
It all
a
started with
specific,
COVID.
like,
Yeah.
and from Spain. Yeah.
I've been to.
I've been
Say that.
Was it night?
I was gonna make him take it. You wanted that.
Yeah, that's the
A stripe. Yeah.